Love and life, black people. How y'all doing today? I pray that the ancestors are blessing you. I pray that their guidance and their protection over you in your life and all your situations. And it was maybe a minute since I hit you with the video, so I just want to expound on a topic that's been in the news last couple of days, and give you my, just my opinion. I'm just one man, just my opinion. Juneteenth. So they passed legislation to make Juneteenth a national holiday, and that's great. That's fine. I'm for all that. That's awesome that Juneteenth is a national holiday. But here's the only thing, well, here's a couple of my issues I have with Juneteenth. Do you know that it is not a federal crime? It's not a federal hate crime to lynch a black person in this country. Do you know that H.R. 1, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, has not been passed? They refused to pass that bill. They filibustered that bill. Did you know that? Did you know that all these restrictions that they have placed on voting, after the last election, the 2020 elections, especially on the minority community that affects us, all these, like, it's illegal to give people water standing in line to vote now? Did you know that? Did you know that they, like, if you, let's say, for instance, I actually have read the legislation. So let's say, for instance, you have 20 polling locations. Now they cut those in half to 10. They actually, the hours to vote, they shrinking the hours to vote. They are making it harder as they can for poor people, for us to vote. So here's the thing. If I am dying of thirst and I'm dying of hunger, and you give me a sip of water, what have you done? You took my mind off the hunger. You gave me a sip of water. I'm no longer thirsty, but I'm still slowly dying. But I'm not focused on that hunger because you manipulated my mind. You gave me a little something, but I'm still suffering. But I'm going to rejoice and celebrate the little something that you gave me, the little nothing you gave me. I'm going to rejoice and celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? Now, in my opinion, last year I took off for work for Juneteenth. I took off. 2 years ago, I had a cookout at my home, celebrated Juneteenth. It's like when they say it's okay for us to celebrate us, that's when we start celebrating us. Why have we not been celebrating Juneteenth? A lot of us don't even know what Juneteenth is. Honestly, seriously, a lot of my people don't know what Juneteenth is. Why, when they say it's okay for us to celebrate us, we deem it okay to celebrate us? No. And a year from now, maybe even next year, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, Family Dollar, they'll have Juneteenth flags, Juneteenth towels. They will, commercialize Juneteenth. Capitalism at its worst. They will commercialize Juneteenth, and we'll be in Family Dollar, Walmart, Target, spending our hard-earned money, but we won't spend it down the corner, around the corner down the street with the brother or the sister who makes t-shirts. We won't spend it with them because we'll say, well, I like their quality better. Walmart, Target, that's crazy. We have to get away from that. So it's fine to celebrate Juneteenth becoming a national holiday. That's fine. I had a conversation with a brother today, and I love our conversations. I always have someone you can talk to who challenges you. Makes you think outside, the box and see things from a different light. This brother does it. He knows who he is. So I love our conversations. And he was like, man, it's something. We're going to celebrate the small steps. 402 years we have been in this country. From when the first 20 Africans, were taking off their boat in Virginia, we have been in this country 402 years. And we are still celebrating small steps. It's no longer time to celebrate the small. We built this country, but we still bask and we grasp for the small steps. No, I want leaps and bounds. It's time for us to not be, pacified. Here's the thing about a pacifier. If you give an infant a pacifier, what does it do? What does that pacifier do? It makes that infant think it's suckling the teat. It makes the infant think that's the mother's breast. It pacifies. It's literally, it fools him into thinking he's getting nutritional value. There's no sustenance. There's nothing of nutrition comes from a pacifier. But it fools him. It comforts him into thinking that he's getting something nutritional. As a people, we have been comforted with lies for too long. It's high time for us to be uncomfortable with the truth. know our own history out loud, educate our own kids. It's time for us as a people to do that. So Juneteenth being celebrated is fine. Celebrate it. John Lewis Voting Rights Act. It's not a federal hate crime to lynch a black person. All these voting restrictions that they placed after the 2020 election, if they give us one step forward, they push us back 2 steps. But we so happy with that one step that we ignore the 2 steps backward they pushed us. We have to stop that. And then, I hear people say, well, man, you just like, you don't want to celebrate nothing. You got that crab in the barrel syndrome, Why you got to be like that? No, why must you be like that? I'm going to despair. For once and all, I'm going to despair this crab in the barrel myth. Okay, they love to use that analogy when talking about black people. Black people especially, that crab in the barrel syndrome. Well, tell me something about crabs. Let me tell you something. The natural habitat is not in the barrel. The natural habitat is at the bottom of the ocean where they can go about, they can move freely without impediment. Who put the crabs in the barrel? If you take something out of this natural habitat and put it in this unnatural habitat, of course it's going to be self-preservation. It's going to do whatever it can to survive. So those crabs in the barrel, they're going to pull other crabs down because they know they don't belong there. They are being stymied. Their happiness, their freedom to go about, to move about, to improve their condition is being controlled by whoever put them in the barrel. Poverty is a policy. It's not an accident. People don't wake up wanting to be poor and wanting to be impoverished. That's a policy. Realize that. So celebrate Juneteenth. That's fine. I'm with you. But as for me, I'm no longer going to be satisfied with small steps. I want giant steps. I want leaps and bounds. That's just me. I'm not knocking you. If you do what you will, have your cookout, have whatever. You have to start somewhere. I refuse to be pacified when I can't go to the voting, to the church and give someone water if they've been in line and not be arrested and charged with a crime. I won't be satisfied as long as it's not a federal hate crime to lynch a black person. I won't be satisfied as long as the John Lewis Voting Rights Act has not been passed, H.R. 1. So Juneteenth is fine. I celebrate it. I celebrate all, of my ancestors' holidays, Memorial Day and Juneteenth. I celebrate them all. So in closing, people, it's okay to celebrate Juneteenth, but we cannot be satisfied with crumbs from the plate of these people. They give us bigger crumbs and we still happy with that. No, it's high time we turn that table over. We don't want crumbs. We don't want a piece of the pie. We don't want the whole pie. We want the ingredients to make the pie. And then not only the ingredients, we want the warehouse where the pie is packaged and made. We want the trucks that ship the pie out to the grocery stores. We want the grocery stores. No longer must we be happy with crumbs. It's time for us to take our destiny and control in our own hands. I hope y'all have an awesome night tonight. If no one told you today, I love you. Love and light, black people. And remember, all power to all black people all the time. And if I don't change your mind tonight, Black African power, I made my ancestors proud tonight. Y'all go in peace.